let's recap the year of news. Gavin, it's 2021. It's coming to a close. 2022. Everything still sucks, but we had some stuff that happened this year. So we'll wind the clock all the way back to January. So if you remember what happened during January, we're still, positive that the world can change and COVID would go away.
I was sure we were getting PAX again, and we did.
It happened. People went.
Apparently people said it was terrible because there was nothing there.
That's awesome. So we have January, some of the big news that happened then. Disney revives LucasArts games for Star Wars and beyond. So they announced also Machine Games making Indiana Jones, Ubisoft's Massive Entertainment, who make The Division, or working on a Star Wars game. But they started to now pull not pull the contract away from EA, but they're now tacking these other devs to work on this entire property that Disney and Star Wars is connected to.
Smart move.
So yeah, that's starting to happen now. So Microsoft reversed the Xbox Live price increase. If you remember way back in January.
I do. Yeah.
They were going to increase the price. So it was going to be $11 a month per month, or what used to be $10. It was going to be $30 instead of $25 for 3 months, and then $60 for 6 months instead of $40. So it was a kind of incremental change increase. Within a day, they backed off the new pricing, and they also announced that players will no longer need a paid subscription to play free-to-play games on Xbox consoles. So not very long before they're like, oh shit, let's change it. Which tinfoil hat, I put that on when I was like, okay, why even, it's going to be a negative response, so why even announce this unless you're ready to draw it back?
I think the thing was there was no drawback if you had Game Pass, because you get Xbox Live for free. So my thought is that they're just trying to let scoot people onto Game Pass.
True.
But
which helps their numbers because they release those numbers, every month or so.
Right.
They still don't publicize on like MPD, so those sales numbers of consoles aren't released anymore. I think that back from the Xbox One days, because they were losing that so much, they just stopped reporting it. But they're very quick to like show off. Here's how many subscribers we have. So maybe they are gearing people towards that.
Right.
It makes sense. THPS Remaster Studio Vicarious Visions. They were absorbed fully into Blizzard Activision to work on the COD franchise.
They made the Diablo 2.
The remaster
Didn't
stuff?
they do that one?
It's possible. I didn't pull it up. I know they worked on Tony Hawk, obviously the remaster, but there's the Bandicoot, Crash Bandicoot. They did that
Really?
4 or the remaster, one of those that worked on that.
Yeah.
But they're a great studio. They're making that. Seemed like there was some life to THPS. It's not dead yet, but it seems like at Activision Blizzard, it's like all hands on deck for Call of Duty. So,
Right.
And
getting sued right now.
Yeah, they're really the shit show of the industry right now. There's a lot of them, but they're at the top of the list.
Right.
The Medium launched in January.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that game? We both played it. I don't think there's anything memorable with that one. I didn't finish it.
I don't think I played more than 2.5 hours.
I was about the same.
That was actually, I did have a list of games that I think we've all forgot came out this year.
Ooh, I want to get to that.
But I think you've mentioned 2 of them already.
Really?
Yeah.
Pepperidge Farm remembers, Gavin.
Pepperidge Farm.
So let's move on to February 2021. Blooper Team's The Medium came out. I guess it came out in January or February. I don't know. I'm carrying over these dates right here.
I do remember my RTX 2060 was on the goddamn struggle bus trying to run RTX on this.
On the Medium?
And it wasn't even that much of a looker of a game.
Yeah.
Which is why you needed RTX turned on to make it look decent.
I wonder if they already have DLSS at that time, because that's the thing NVIDIA has that helps you deal with RTX and resolution and performance at the same time.
They did.
Damn. So
and I had both on, which is crazy because Cyberpunk I can run. Well, I wouldn't run on max on my old card, but I could run on decent.
Because you on the 2060.
Yeah, on the 2060.
Gotcha.
Definitely with DLSS.
I see. Yeah, that's a big help on PC. So we got MLB The Show 2021 box art officially revealed the game is coming to Xbox after being a PlayStation exclusive since 2006. That was confirmed. It also was a day one Game Pass launch. So that was huge to have this property that was always on PlayStation now on Xbox. Just another shift in Xbox really taking over this year and kind of setting up this next battle into next gen with PlayStation.
We said they were eventually going to start laying down bombs.
Yeah.
I don't know how long this bombing run is going to go for. But
they're your ex that like went dark on Instagram and were just like working out nonstop to then post those fire selfies.
The dump truck.
Yeah, we're like,
real.
did they go to Brazil somehow and just get this surgery? Dude, and now they're coming in and just coming in hot. So
Yeah.
I can't wait. Stadia shut down their internal game studios in February. So,
No one cares.
right on the wall. I think it's been a slow writing on the wall. You think with Google, we talk about them shutting services down. I hear you.
Yeah.
But what's keeping them from not just pulling the plug right away? There's something there where they're still hanging on for some reason.
I don't know.
I
But
wonder
it's
what that
been
is.
2 years of going, oh, that's right. Stadia still exists.
Yeah. It's really tough. But so that was a big nail in the coffin. The Last of Us HBO series revealed the Joel and Ellie casting. So you got Pedro Pascal, Mandalorian, we were just talking about, as Joel, and Bella Ramsey, who's from Game of Thrones, is the role of Ellie. We've since seen some on-set photos and official production stuff they put out, and it seems like it's close to wrapping. I don't know how soon we're going to see this. I'm projecting summertime this year, but I don't know.
I would hope so. It feels like things go pretty fast once they've done filmed.
And now, whether COVID's happening or not, these production teams seem to have a flow that they can go through, and there's testing and stuff. So I think production is back to normal somewhat.
Yeah.
So that was first announced in February. Hackers infiltrated CDPR and auctioned personal/game data for a reported $7 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
was
think they
pretty
leaked like
shady.
Witcher stuff, Cyberpunk stuff. They didn't leak it, but they had it to the highest bidder,
Okay.
and somebody bought it.
That's insane.
Yeah. And that was just like on top of the shit show that was Cyberpunk, the release.
Right.
And that's still early on because Cyberpunk released December-ish last year.
Mm-hmm.
So that was just right there in the shit of it. But yeah. WB Games patented Nemesis system. So that was from the Lord of the Rings games that they made, that Nemesis system people dug. They patented it. Now Nemesis will return in WB's Wonder Woman game, which was revealed at the Game Awards. So that's cool. Also in February, we celebrated 100 episodes by eating hot peppers and playing Overcooked.
Wow. I kind of forgot that was last year.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like that long ago, or feels like forever ago at the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, and those peppers weren't, they were a flash in the pan.
It was the skinny red one that fucks with me. And I find like I've gone to restaurants since then and I see that pepper and go, no. No.
I know about you.
Although I did have a whiskey. It was a clear whiskey infused with that pepper, and then they smoked the whiskey afterwards, and it was so good.
Is that where they covered the thing?
Yeah, and they get smoke in there with it.
Oh yeah, Papa like.
Oh.
Nice. Also in February, Epic bought Fall Guys dev Mediatonic.
I forgot about that.
Me too.
Wow.
I haven't seen any change, of them going only PC, and now they're like crushing it with being on Switch, on console, everywhere. Open world Pokemon Arceus revealed for early 2022.
I think that's coming out January too.
Is it?
Yeah.
Nice.
I was just watching a video, and most of the games coming out next month are pretty forgettable, but that was one of them.
Gotcha. I know people are waiting for this open world, Pokemon game, and so I knew it was announced and it was coming at some point, but I just totally forgot when. But that's cool. And also, the graphics look very Switch.
Yeah, they look pretty dated.
But I think if it's fun and cool, although somehow Zelda, they say hold my beer, and like it looks great still. I think, but it's like a cell shaded. Although the Pokemon game's cell shaded, so I don't know. But one of them's has priority. One of them does not. Right. But Elden Ring trailer leaked also in February, showing the first gameplay.
Oh, that looks so bad.
The trailer leak, or like the new gameplay, or
The trailer leak, I think it was low frame rate.
That's true. Yeah. It was just like
textures, just real bad, and now it looks great. But.
Yeah, it wasn't their best, foot forward, but it was a leak. And also people are so hungry for anything from Elden Ring.
Right.
They're like, cool, I'll take it. Can I buy that now? But yeah, Super Mario 3D World, Bowser's Fury launched in February as well. I've still yet to play that game. Want to play it?
If I had it physically, I'd just let you borrow it.
That's the hard thing about digital. But as we move on to March, Switch 4K rumors start to pick up at that point from big outlets. Now, back in this time, we thought, anything's possible. We're going to get this cool beefed up Switch Pro. It was not that. It was a Switch OLED, which is the same internals, just a better screen.
People were sure on this one.
Although, yeah, and I think there's something to that, because the Switch Lite rumored for a while, and then it was launched.
Right.
And I was like, oh shit, okay, those rumors seem to be legit. They were the same kind of moniker. There was like Bloomberg, these big outlets were following it, saying it's this 4K screen, better internals, and it wasn't.
I would just like to say, though, we got all these like leakers, famous leakers on Twitter that, we follow and stuff, but it's just like they get credit when they get it right. Like, do we give them discredit on stuff like this when it's sure thing is what they're saying? And
you know what? That is interesting. So some of the outlets that were announcing that was or they were talking about the rumors, reporting on it. Some people on Twitter were leaving comments saying like, hey, what happened? Calling them out on it. And there's also some like, then that commenter turns into a troll from those media outlets. They're like, oh, they're just like trolling us. But it's like, oh, wait a minute, because you said this was a thing. I guess it's like how much, whether you take it with a grain of salt or not. And I think these outlets are clear. Hey, we're hearing that this is possible, or we're hearing from someone else that this is possible. Right. So we're reporting on it. So it's up to you whether you bet money on it or something, like invested your whole life. So it's, I understand both sides of that, argument, but move on here. So, the European and U.S. regulators actually approved Microsoft's $7.5 billion acquisition of Bethesda in March. So later in March, 20 plus Bethesda games were added to Game Pass, with more added since. So it was the first start of that whole connection, that's a new history and future with Bethesda and Microsoft. And it's nuts. And now that's a huge part of why they're a juggernaut right now with Microsoft. Right. But yeah, that started there in March. At least we started to see the actual fruit of it in March. The PSVR 2 controllers revealed by Sony was in March.
I don't remember that. Interesting.
Yeah, this one, they showed off the controllers, and they're these,
stiffened thongs.
Stiffened thongs, you're right. Just like crusty old thongs you'd find that have still hold their shape. But they look like the Oculus controllers, the way they encompass your hand, but they're just a bit different. But we got that. That's really all we got in 2021. The controllers, I think there's been some news on the haptic feedback with the controllers. So they're adding stuff from the DualSense into these controllers to help with like immersion and stuff. We don't have a lot of details on the screen yet, so we're hoping next year. And Sony was very clear about that. They said, hey, this year, we're not going to show you anything. Here's some controllers. Fuck off. We'll see you in a year. And they are following that mantra. Right. Which is fine. Sony bought a fighting tournament Evo.
Oh, I forgot that happened.
That was in March, yeah.
Yeah. We'll see some ripples of that next year, I'm sure.
Now, they launched Evo Online months after that, right? And it seemed to continue, so. Yeah. But we'll see if there's any negative effects. PlayStation 3 and PS Vita online stores closed for good. That was announced in March. They closed in the summertime.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, yes. Now, It Takes Two, released in March 26. That was Game Awards Game of the Year.
Yeah.
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 That's when we started playing that game, too, and I think it took us a good 8 months to finally finish it.
It was at least 2 months.
And there's a gap. 3. So a lot of these stories I mined from our previous podcasts, and I keep those docs. And there's a good 2 months was like, oh, there's no docs here because we were playing It Takes Two for so long, but then I just filled in the gaps. But
it was not as short as I was expecting.
No, which is great, but it's like, yeah, it takes a while.
Did you watch any of that thing today?
No, the Game Maker's Toolkit? I need to. It's on my list of stuff.
No worries.
Once I finish Game of Thrones and Witcher, and then I'll get to
Dude, the new Witcher, I'm on the final episode.
Liking it?
It's a lot slower than season 1. Oh. But like when the action does get there, it fucking shows up.
I've heard episode 1, season 2 is like really nuts. This was, again, Benji Sales on Twitter. I was following him, commenting on, like, he just started watching the new season. And he thought that first episode was like a banger.
Apparently, I've completely forgotten what happened.
Okay. I don't know if Cavill whips his dick out or something, but I'm on board. That's all I got to say, and I'm watching.
Fighting monsters with his dick.
The sword gets thrown somewhere else. He's like, this is all I got. This or the chin. And so he's just fighting people with his chin on.
He cocks his...
Yeah, literally. Alrighty, Gavin. Back to the news and review for the 2021 year. So March 31st was the day Mario dies, as Nintendo pulled Mario 3D All-Stars from Nintendo Marketplace.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
And they announced that months in advance, but for some reason they pulled it from the digital marketplace. You can still find the disc. You can buy it, like I just checked online, but it's no longer something you can download for whatever reason. But they declared that day the day that Mario dies.
Trying to pull a Disney.
Pretty much, yeah. Put it into the vault, bring it back out again. Yeah. Apex Legends came to Switch in March.
Can't believe that can run on that thing.
Right. I think they were 30 frames, but still, it runs.
Yeah.
And it's like, you got to switch. What do you want, man? It runs. We're on to April here, 2021. Bloomberg reports The Last of Us 2 remake for PS5 in development at Naughty Dog. And this was kind of a leak by Bloomberg, and Jason Schreier talked about how there was another team tasked with working on either a remake of The Last of Us or Uncharted, or remaster it rather.
Right.
And they ended up switching over to Naughty Dog for them to work on it exclusively. So that's apparently, it still hasn't been confirmed, but that's apparently in the works.
This does remind me, one of the big releases for this coming month, I'll finally play it. God of War. It's coming to PC.
January. Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's like early January, the 14th or something. You're finally going to play it. So that's what it takes for you to play these PlayStation games, is that for them to go to PC.
Yes. 100%.
You know, that little nugget is interesting because I've seen some Steam breakdowns for sales, what's been selling every week and every month. And Halo Infinite's up there. Forza 5 is up there. These are Steam sales.
Yeah.
So even though Game Pass is on PC, people are buying the PC versions of these games.
And this has happened over and over and over again. It clearly doesn't matter.
No. I think a lot of people want to buy the game, and you have that PC space where it's not been there. And even though they have this subscription that's like, cool, I'm going to buy the game. So Microsoft is able to just, make it rain. So Sony is finally understanding. It's like, we're not dividing our market or causing any kind of issues. We can still release on PC, still have this PlayStation ecosystem. I would argue you can go the same Xbox route and release them day and date, because a lot of people that love PlayStation or have a console, they just want the console.
We want to be part of the hype.
Yeah. And their console works. They plug it in. That's fine. They might download an update, but nothing like PC users. Yeah. So it's like, I think those are different ecosystems, and you can still launch on the same thing and not cannibalize your sales. And so Xbox is proving that. Sony's starting to. I think they're still going to wait on a lot of these properties before they come to PC. Yeah. But I think they're leaving money on the table.
Just hear me out, Sony/Square Enix. Final Fantasy VII Remake. You can come to PC whenever you want.
I think that is coming to PC.
I thought it was. Honestly, I thought it was out months ago. And I think, like, we talked about this on the podcast. I believe I said I'd eat a shoe if I was wrong. And I believe I was wrong.
It's just hard for me to follow because I just don't care about Final Fantasy.
Right.
I'm reading right now.
This one's supposed to be really fun. Like, even if you don't super care about the story, like, the gameplay is supposed to be a blast.
So the PC version of Final Fantasy VII Remake is on the Epic Game Store as of December 16th. So it's there.
Huh?
So you can play it.
Okay.
There you go.
Sweet. Oh, that reminds me. Another game that we were previously playing on Epic, but is now on Game Pass for free. Remnant from the Ashes. We got to jump back into that. That was a lot of fun.
Nice.
But I still want to jump back into the Ascent first. That was so much fun.
Yeah, the Ascent's dope. I do want to give that more of a chance because it was fun. I think it's fun playing with somebody else. Yeah. And same with Remnant. I was having more of a blast playing with you. Yeah. Like on my own, it's easier for me to just kind of back away and try something else.
I was definitely having the most fun when we were playing together, and then like high level people jumped in to help us.
With Remnant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please carry us on your shoulders.
Yes. So, Gavin, some more Sony news from April. Sony turned down Sony Ben's pitch for Days Gone 2. Instead, has Sony Ben working on a new IP as of now. Yeah. So that's going down. Oddworld Soulstorm came out in April. Also, Returnal, Outriders, Pokemon Snap also released that month.
You just listed another two of the
games you've forgotten about.
Yeah.
Outriders. I know you were kind of hyped for it.
I played it. I started playing it, and I didn't get very far before I was getting very frustrated with this story that will not stop happening at you. And I just wanted to play the game because the game was fun.
Like cutscene kind of situation?
Yeah,
not
just
interacting?
Relentless and awkwardly cutting into the gameplay. And they were also awkward and poorly written and poorly acted and poorly mocapped. Just stop. Just let me play the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you. That sucks. Returnal. I also wanted to be able to play the game, but it was super duper hard. And they've yet to do any kind of baby mode. They did add, this is about 2 months ago, they added a save mode where once you reach a certain part, you can save it. But once you use it once, it is no longer usable within that run. So next time you die, back to the start.
What?
Yeah. So at least it's something, but damn. Pokemon Snap, which I grew up playing Pokemon Snap, loved it on 64. I just haven't jumped to the Switch version.
This was quite a bit different with its like day and night cycle. Things change every time you run through a level. Like that was the previous one was just raw memorization, and skill, whereas this is quite a bit different.
Gotcha. Interesting. I do want to try it. But that came out in April. We're on to May 2021. We got PlayStation exclusive Days Gone launched on PC in May. Launch on PC in May, along with announcements that Uncharted 4 and God of War 2018 would land on PC in 2022. So they announced a lot of juggernauts during this time, and it really solidifies PlayStation finally going, okay, we'll launch on PC, as we were talking about before. So big deal there. Biomutant came out in May.
It was fun.
I didn't finish it. Yeah.
Oh, you actually did?
No, I didn't finish it. It
You
was the
played it, though.
I played the first 2 hours. That narrator was killing it for me. It was very slow starting off. I wanted to play more. I just gave up.
Which is funny because I recently was playing a game with the exact same narrator doing the exact same thing, but it was better. It was I couldn't. Eternal Cylinder, same narrator doing a very similar thing, but it's just better. So clearly they did something wrong with that mechanic.
Gotcha. I know after the first couple weeks, they adjusted something to the narration where you could either skip it or they muted it. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So that's good, but at some point I'll go back to that.
But man, when I finally had that on my 3080 with everything maxed, oh
yeah, it's a looker for sure.
Oh,
right. So we got on to June 2021. We had E3 2021 revealed. So they revealed some stuff here. Starfield got a date, November 22nd, 2022. Metroid Dread was revealed.
I didn't realize it was revealed and launched in the same year. That's crazy.
For Starfield?
Metroid Dread.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, showed off, and then holiday season, we got it.
No.
I'm thinking it is. I could be wrong. Xbox mini fridge was revealed there. Started off as a meme, and then it came a thing, and then holiday season, we actually got production from that.
Isn't it like $400?
It's $100. If you can find it, retail $100, but people are eBaying it up for more than that.
Right.
There's the first Halo multiplayer flight in June, getting us a taste of where Halo multiplayer was going to be. Breath of the Wild 2 got a new gameplay teaser in June. That was dope. I'm still riding that high. I want to see more Breath of the Wild. I played Breath of the Wild again this year because I just love that game. And I'm just I played from start to finish, at least with the campaign, alone. But love that game. So good. Mario Golf Super Rush came out in June, as did Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart and Chivalry 2.
I need to play me some Chivalry 2.
I want you to play Ratchet & Clank, man. That's one where it's such a great show off for the PS5, but also a lot of that tech they're using can still work on PC. It could also just like elevate that, everything they're able to accomplish with the visuals and the loading. It's like let PC players have that and then use like a 3090 and everything tricked out where they can really crank it up to 11. Like that'd be dope.
Didn't you and Callum play all the Ratchet and Clank games in anticipation?
We started playing and we didn't get through all of them because there was a bunch.
Right.
But we started playing a couple of the well-known ones and they're just solid games. Like they're still fun. This is PS2, PS3 era. Still blast. The shooting mechanics, Insomniac's known for their really innovative like guns that they create in this world and any game that they make. They're just fun to play, super tight mechanics and platforming, and just really cute and fun too. It's like they're great at Spider-Man and even Resistance, but like there's something special about what they do with Ratchet.
And I don't think they get enough credit for pushing each console to its limit with what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like, the point at which they started looking like Pixar movies was very early on.
Right. Even the last Ratchet that was on PS4, which is kind of like a spiritual reboot or even a reboot on its own, that one looked already Pixar level, and that's PS4. Mm-hmm. And so, they're just, anything they put out now, it's like, give it to Insomniac or whatever hardware that comes out, give it to Insomniac to just absolutely drain any power from it and see what's possible.
Right.
Yeah, they're just nuts over there. We're on to July 2021. Nintendo Switch OLED was revealed. That was the Switch 4K rumors turned into Switch OLED, so it's kind of a... But we got Valve Steam Deck was revealed.
Which is an awesome unit, too.
Yeah.
Like, worst comes to worst, unlike the Ouya, at the end of the day, you can just use this thing as a PC.
How dare you compare them in any way, shape, or form? One's like a cell phone chip that they just put a box around.
It is, but like this is the thing. Like I'm halfway tempted to have my boss buy me one of these because you cannot buy a laptop with these specs for this price.
That's very true. Yeah, the actual like core amount of hardware that you're getting there is nuts. And you can still run Linux on it, or I think they said you could run Windows on there too.
Yeah.
And so you could turn this into this, just a PC that does whatever you want. You have all these different ports going on. You totally can do that.
Yeah.
Especially in a world right now where we don't have these graphics cards, it's cheaper to go this route and get equal performance.
Yeah, and it can run Control. This thing can run Control.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Right. And that was pushed back to some point 2022. I know it was supposed to be holiday season. I think it's early 2022 now. But it's not that far along, but it is a bit further down. California sued gaming giant Activision Blizzard over unequal pay, sexual harassment. That was in July.
We'll see how that turns out for him.
Yeah. And the hits keep coming. You have Bobby Kotick, who doesn't want to step down. Yeah. He's the president, CEO over at Activision. I know he's actually accused of some of the same stuff, but he was publicly saying recently, he's like, I won't step down until I can fix the problem. Right. But homeboy, you're the problem. Like, you're part of it. So how's that going to work? Anyways, that's still unfolding in real time. We got Dead Space remake was confirmed in July.
Yeah, they showed off some nasty looking tech details on this sucker. It is going to be gross.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I say, take a breath. Don't, go media blackout for a year from now. Next Game Awards, show us like some dope little intro deal, like maybe even not even gameplay, just some more concepts. After a year, I'd expect something maybe closer to gameplay, but I just want to have them, give them the time they need to work on that because cannot wait. Back in July, Amazon's super popular MMO New World was bricking 3090s.
That's right.
I think they've since fixed it, I assume.
Yeah, and that game has been killing it. I have at least one coworker who's playing it, and he was trying to get me to play it. Yeah. Even though I have no interest in MMOs, but a lot of people are still on this game.
Yeah, apparently it's really good. People that love that kind of style gameplay love this game.
Yeah.
And I know one of the big hardware manufacturers for graphics cards was replacing 3090s if they can be proven it was part of
that. Was definitely
part of that. So that's cool at least. So also in July, Death's Door came out.
I need to beat that.
Same here. I think it's still on Game Pass. Forgotten City, which I really want to play.
So good.
Yeah, I know you're telling me it's awesome. The Ascent, which we were just talking about. So some bangers in July for sure. And Ascent and Death's Door, and I think Forgotten City, all on Game Pass. I know Ascent,
Forgotten
I know
City
Death's Door.
may have just gone on there.
I think that was more recent, because I know it's there now.
Right. I don't know if Death's Door is, but definitely Forgotten City and The Ascent.
I know they launched with Death's Door, they launched there, because I played on my, back then, the Xbox One X.
Okay.
So a lot of these are, Game of the Year potential. They're in that conversation. Game Pass day date.
Yeah.
Nuts. Moving on to August, we got Psychonauts 2 launched, which you played, dug it a lot. 12 Minutes, which I really dug too.
Right.
Axiom Verge 2, I brought that in because it was such a huge first entry. The sequel kind of came and went, where it just missed on a lot of stuff.
I did not. I was trying to find all the like big name games, small name games that came out. Unfortunately, there's just too many games, so you can't just look up everything. But yeah, Axiom Verge 2, apparently for people who are really into that style of the game, really dug the first one. This one came in to extra dig that itch, so good on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So also in August, the GTA Trilogy Remaster was announced. It then proceeded to shit the bed when it launched, all the bugs and whatnot. And Rockstar's issued an apology since.
Right.
So back in August, China set a 3-hour limit per week for kids playing games online. So it was 1 hour Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This is all they could play when it was an online game. So that happened. That's cool. No More Heroes 3 came out also in August.
I heard nothing about that.
Yeah, it kind of came and went. Aliens Fireteam. I think we're only hearing more about it now because it's on Game Pass, which is dope.
Right. One more important game, which was an expansion, but Outer Wilds Echo of the Eye came out that month. Absolutely amazing.
Is that when you're right at the end of beating it?
I'm not sure how far I am because this puzzle is hard and it's also scary. So like it's really demotivating to like when I get my in the old one, like if I kill myself, that's fine, whatever. But this is like scary and I'm trying not to die and then I die and then that's demotivating. So I almost want to you can put on baby mode. I am tempted to put on baby mode.
At least to see it through. And if you've done the majority of it, with your own abilities, no harm in that. Moving on to September 2021 here, we got BioWare decides to use UE5 for next Mass Effect. So those are rumors then. Now it's been confirmed very recently that they're moving from the Frostbite engine, I want to say, over to UE5. So big deal. Should hopefully help with development and bugs, whatnot. We got 343 had its first flight for Halo Infinite multiplayer. So I thought that was earlier, but I guess it's September. So I have that mixed up there.
Maybe they just announced it earlier. And I know this
Could
one
have
you
been.
played, you loved, you tried to get me into it, and I just couldn't figure it out.
It might have been, I didn't play it until September because there was like 3 flights, I want to say.
Oh, right. There was a flight you couldn't get into.
And one of them, I handed you the code on a silver platter. I loaded it on your Xbox
yeah,
for
and I
you.
was like, download this app.
It wasn't though. It was super easy.
Put in this suppository.
No, I had the game loaded. I had your chair for you and a sandwich. I was like, here you go, Gavin. I woke you up. You have the day off. I can't do it. It's like, all right, man. I'm moving on. We got No Man's Sky gets overwhelming positive reviews on Steam 5 years later. We talked about this when it happened. It's just them coming full circle to having this response that now deserves like what they've put into it after 5 years. And it's really hard to change that level of reviews or the balance of those reviews from like going from positive to negative and all the different stuff in between. Yeah. So they achieved it and good on them. Like that's such a great story to the point where you say a game has No Man's Sky because it's able to pull it, from the depths of the devil's asshole or whatever.
And I still think they're making money on it because every time they put out a new update, they put it on sale and it tops the charts on Steam.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah. And I think if you own the core game, I don't think you have to buy any of these updates.
No.
So these are ways to get new players in and they keep doing it.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Mm-hmm. Man, what a great story. I want to know how much they've sold total, but I'm sure we can find that info.
It's definitely out there.
So we got Deathloop also released in September. That was one I was super duper hyped on, and I haven't finished it, but I've played a good while, and it wasn't scratching the itch that I wanted from something from Arcane. I love Dishonored 2. It wasn't there for me, but I also want to go back and give it a shot and finish it.
You're probably, I think you're close enough to the end, but it's definitely one for me. That was my most hyped game of the year. I love Arcane, especially Had to Pray. I love time loop games. This should have been my perfect game.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, I wonder because I know there's things I need to do, but with that gameplay, you have to do everything in a certain... in a line or in a route to, finish to actually see the end. And that's the whole point of the story. I get that. But I didn't like having to corral myself into that route. Although it is somewhat sandboxy, I think I preferred Dishonored, where it was more of like you go down this hallway like we always mentioned, but there's all these options within this world to tackle stuff how you want. You can even decide to kill them or not kill them, these high level targets. I just like playing around with those tools more than I did in Dishonored.
Yeah.
Even though it was very pretty and cool, I love the 60s aspect to it. Yeah. I don't know. On paper, I should have been more excited. But
well, that was the thing I thought was cool was like by killing different people in different ways, you get different information, and then you only had to do the route for the final kill.
Gotcha.
But at the same time,
I see.
Could have been better.
Yeah, I need to go back to really like 100% have a thought on it.
And they improved the AI now, so it's going to be harder. That's
true. Great. We have MarioWare Get It Together released on Switch in September. So the first Mario or WarioWare game in a while. Yeah. God of War Ragnarok gets its first trailer and 2022 release date.
So good.
Yes. And they finally moved that 2021 day that was bullshit to 2022, which feels a bit more possible now. Right. Cannot wait. So we got Insomniac revealed Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine are both in development. Mm-hmm. So that's huge. I think Spider-Man 2 is 2023, they're saying. Wolverine doesn't have a date, but these are now PS5 exclusive games too. They're not doing cross-gen anymore.
Right.
So KOTOR remake was announced for PS5. And I don't know enough about KOTOR, even how to pronounce it, but whether this is the sequel of the first one, but some kind of KOTOR remake. And it's coming to PS5 for a timed release there.
Right.
But people love that series. Also we're on September now. Judge ruled Apple must allow developers to direct app users to outside payment options. So it's a big deal with the epic Apple debacle in Fortnite and having to be stuck with their marketplace. There's a whole thing that happened in their favor. NVIDIA,
I think they're still appealing it.
So it's possible. Sure. Yeah, okay.
They're going for it.
Cool. So it's a long road we're going to be on.
Yeah.
So also NVIDIA GeForce leaks reveal potential games in development. This was back in September. Confirming God of War PC, GTA Trilogy at the time, which we ended up getting those games. But also in the mix of these potential leaks are games we don't know about. that are possible, maybe not. So one of them is BioShock RTX remaster. Who knows? Titanfall 3 was also thrown in there.
Cool.
Final Fantasy 14 remake and RE4 remake. We at least know the RE4 remake is most likely happening. It's not confirmed yet. Titanfall 3, I think that dev, forgetting their name, they've said they're not working on anything Titanfall related.
That does remind me, though, on that, not Corridor Digital, but whatever those people critiquing, like the best looking
Digital
games
Foundry
this year, they were talking about Resident Evil 7.
Yeah.
It's just one of the best looking games out there. I really need to get in and play that.
It was dope. I think that's one of my honorable mentions because I played a lot of that game, and I think Steam released some data.
Didn't you beat it like 3 times?
Yeah. Which you think it'd be higher on my list, but I don't know. It was great, but it just kind of left my brain. But Steam released some data that it was the most completed game on Steam this year to release this year. So more people finished that actual game.
I think that speaks something to like the pacing.
Yeah. And they incentivize you with the stuff that you can earn once you beat the game, and the different achievements and whatnot with beating it under 3 hours, and the weapons you unlock. So it's like it is fun to go back and play it, even though you know where stuff is. It's still the gameplay's fun. So also in September we got Kenna Bridge of Spirits launched, which is big. I finally downloaded that on PC, so I'm gonna try that after I beat Guardians.
I hear it's fun.
Yeah, and it looks beautiful too. That was another one on the Digital Foundry's list for the year. Nintendo revealed the Nintendo 64 games coming to Nintendo Online, plus Nintendo 64 Switch controller. That was in September. A big one we got. The animated Mario movie cast was announced, and Chris Pratt is playing Mario, Princess Peach, Luigi, Bowser, and Toad. And
he's playing all of them.
He's playing everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only one person everyone was upset about, but boy, were we upset.
Yeah, Chris Pratt was he took the attention away from everybody because he's Chris Pratt playing Mario, but we still have yet to see any, tidbits of what his voice would sound like. There's potential there where he could like blow everyone out of the water. I doubt it, but maybe.
Charlie Day as Luigi, though, stroke of absolute genius.
Yes. Jack Black as Bowser, he could easily do that. Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. I don't think he sounds old enough, but he still could absolutely nail it. Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong. Fred Armisen can play all of them, really. He's dope.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll see that next December 2022. But that is a thing.
Boy.
Moving on to October, almost finishing out the year. Not a whole lot of big news, but this one was, I thought it was funny. So a man...
Never heard of this.
Yeah, this is IGN reported this. So a man uses COVID loan to buy rare Charizard. Federal prosecutors claim a man from Georgia used an $85,000 pandemic relief business loan to buy a $57,000 Pokemon card. And he's in big trouble.
Sure.
So, yeah. Unless he maybe planned on making more money off of it and paying them off, and there's loan sharks. So also in October, we got Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, Far Cry 6, Back 4 Blood, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, and Resident Evil 4 VR.
And between the two of us, we played 3 of those 5.
Yeah. You played Back 4 Blood. I've played...
Couldn't get past the first mission because it wouldn't match me with anyone else.
That sucks. And I have no desire to play it, so I'm leaving you out on the stretcher. I just downloaded RE4 VR and had to buy a fucking Oculus 2. So I need to sell my old one. But I haven't been in the mood, though. Once I finally got it, it's like, okay, I'll hold on to it. I do want to play it. I played the first half hour, and it's very intense.
Yeah.
Like, especially that first little village, they throw everyone at you, and they purposely, and I forget in the original game, they throw more people at you that you can handle, because then they eventually cut it off, where they send everyone back. Mm-hmm. But even though there's ammo and stuff, you feel like, oh, okay, there's like 20 people on screen, and then they finally close it. And that's a really good feeling, and it feels very tense, very chaotic.
It drops the logo, and you're just...
Right. Which, that reminds me of the logo drop. That's now a goal with every big game lately, is they keep that title sequence further and further into the game before they show it.
Yeah.
So Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, I've been playing it, and you play a whole like full level before they show you that title sequence.
At what point do they drop? I don't remember this. What point do they drop the logo?
I think it's at least 2 hours into the game. It's quite a while.
Is this after you've been arrested?
I forget. But it's a very long point where like, oh shit, okay, I forgot what I was even playing. I haven't seen the title sequence. And then Ghost of Tsushima did that recently as well last year, where they waited a long time. When they showed it's really beautiful, but I keep wondering like, how long are we going to push it where you beat the game and then you see the title sequence, or the DLC comes out and then the title sequence. I don't know.
We got to plant the seed in the It Takes Two guy's head.
Yeah.
He'll do.
10 years later, we release the
In
title
the sequel.
Right. That's when he said that'd be the ultimate mic drop. So moving on to November here, Netflix streaming game service launch in the US. It's just mobile games now. It's like I think Fright Night, but God, what's that one with the kids and they fight the ghouls? And it's a big Netflix show, Stranger Things. Yeah. Got a mobile game port. So right now it's that, but the potential is maybe some big game streaming there. We got Uncharted, got its first movie trailer.
They showed off a picture with what's his name with a mustache.
Yeah, it looks bad. I don't like the mustache. Seen it, but okay, I'll pull it up. It's very weird. It's Sully.
What's his name? Mark Zuckerberg.
Nope.
Mustache.
Like a Tom Selleck mustache.
There we go. Mark Wahlberg. There we go.
There we go. Yeah. Well, even Tom. That must be from a different.
That
movie.
has to be photoshopped.
Yeah, but the one I keep seeing is
top right.
Yeah.
That is.
He's got this stash here. It just. I mean. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mustache is tough. It's hard to pull off. He doesn't pull it off. And I kept thinking as this movie was shown off, it's like, oh, we're not going to get that mustache moment. But then seeing it, I'm like, oh, no, just shave it or beard. I don't want to see the mustache. But it is what it is. I don't have a lot of hopes for this. I think I'll still enjoy it more than Matrix. But I'm keeping the same level of hope for it. Sure. Where it's like, maybe it's cool. I don't know. I'll keep living my life. But yeah, we have that. Uncharted movie got its first trailer. That's coming out in 2022. Moving on to the November 2021 news. Facebook changed its name to Meta. Meta? Why did I say Meta?
Right.
That was the whole thing, which now Oculus has their branding as Meta and not Oculus anymore. So that's really dumb.
The metaverse.
Yes. So all Cyberpunk 2077 updates were delayed to 2022. That was announced in November. They've been adding these updates this whole year, but they had to push a lot of the big stuff to next year. So a full-blown extra year to like kind of put the nail in the coffin on this game and just like finish it, quote unquote. We got the GTA Remaster launch with a ton of bugs, and Rockstar issued their apology. Skyward Sword Remaster came out in November.
I hear it was good.
Yeah. I have no desire to play it.
Yeah,
but
neither do I.
If it's on sale, which it never will be, then I'll play it.
I should. It's the only console Zelda I haven't beat.
Yeah, maybe just for that point alone, to like, where does it fall in your, full list of console Zelda games? Now, moving on to December, very recently, we're in that month now. Final Fantasy halts new sales of game due to server congestion. So this is Final Fantasy 16, something like that. It's the big online game that they were able to do the No Man's Sky before No Man's Sky, where they pulled it around.
It was originally The Realm Reborn.
Yes.
So they released the final update for it. So this is the end.
I think you're right.
It's an MMO with a beginning and end story, and reviewers are super happy with it.
I've been hearing super positive stuff. Apparently, they had to halt new sales because the servers were so congested that they couldn't actually supply, like the wait times were so long for like new players, any player to go in. So they had to halt it so that at least players that already are in that world ecosystem, because you pay per month, I guess, to play it, at least they could actually succeed in finding a game. But it's just on paper, it's so nuts to have a game that's so successful, they have to stop people from buying the game so they can still exist. But there's the grapes thing. Have you seen the grapes? So people are angry about the really low res grapes that were in the game. So they put out an update adding more roundness to them, but it became a meme. So
I did not see that.
Yeah, let's look it up here.
Oh boy.
It's kind of like the puddle in Spider-Man.
Oh, that's
a big deal. Yes.
Oh, those are whoa.
So I mean, they're bad.
Oh, okay.
They are bad.
But if you're not, if they're not in like a cutscene or you have
and you're moving around looking at other stuff, and I don't know how close in game you get to them, but they are very low res. But is it like, I want a refund? No, go fuck yourself. They look bad? Yeah, they do.
Do we have an after photo here?
Somewhere. I have it pulled up in the thing I was just looking at, but
they just make them 2D.
A grape reborn, somebody called it.
A grape reborn. Oh boy.
Bug Snacks, they added that same texture to their game recently.
Oh,
like
God bless them.
a little fuck you. So here we go. We got some roundness to them now.
Okay.
So they still have the same basic shape, but they're a bit more polygons involved.
Yeah. Not that many more polygons, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But found that funny. It hasn't stopped people from trying to buy it. So now this is very recent. Stalker 2 reversed their course on NFTs. If you remember a couple weeks ago, they announced this was pre-game NFT stuff where you could buy and trade with NFTs these various things. One of them was you could buy the ability to have your likeness in a game, and that was somehow an NFT. But because of overwhelming negative response, they decided to just scrap all of it.
Who's the other dev that tried to pull that the same like the week before?
It's hard to remember. Ubisoft.
It was
did.
Ubisoft. Yeah.
Now they haven't backed down. They keep. They put out something recently saying that they're going to kind of show gamers why it's something they want.
I thought they did back
but
down. Okay.
in true form, because they're very unliked already, they're like, oh, hate? Who cares? Like we get hate every day.
Right.
We're going to do this NFT thing because we're going to make money. But it's just very interesting because I have no dog in the fight with NFTs.
Right.
But it's something that I'm interested in and I watch from afar. But what I find more interesting is overwhelmingly it's all super negative. We talked about it before. It's all very, very negative unless you're in your crypto bros, as they call them, where you're in that world. Then you spin it to where it's always positive. And I just want to know what to cut the bullshit, like what is the proper weight of everything, like comparing it to each other and figuring out what is this new future for our economy, or is it this weird like pandering or like pyramid scheme that's going on?
Right.
I don't know. It's one of them. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But it's happening and it's trying to be implemented into games. But anytime it is, people are like overwhelmingly negative. Oh, buddy. So maybe NFTs can fix my speech ability.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Gavin. So we got Stalker NFTs, no longer a thing. Moving on to the Game Awards. Some big things from the Game Awards. Quantic Dream announced their Star Wars game, which we'll see in 10 years.
That's true.
Yeah. WB has their Wonder Woman game announced. We got some Suicide Squad game footage. And then It Takes Two got Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Big
and
old
he
deal.
didn't pull anything crazy on stage. A little disappointed.
He pulled in pecs, let me tell you. Those things were locked and loaded.
Yep.
The tightest shirt possible.
That's how he makes this game, just doing push-ups on a keyboard.
Apparently. Just intimidating the developers until they get their work done.
Yeah.
All right, Gavin, let's move on to the best 5 games of the year.
Okay.